issued in Canada to say that Muslims should stand up to protect Muslims in Canada and the United States from terrorism, but do they know the real roots of terrorism? Somehow I sincerely doubt it. There's been a big expose about the immigration prisons in the United States, absolutely horrendous. A lot of people denied medical treatment, beaten, just, you know, helpless people. These aren't terrorists or anything, it's just someone who just happened to go across the border. One guy lived in the States for 33 years, went back to his old country, came back. He ends up in one of these prisons. The government is lying tooth and nail over all these issues, covering up everything tooth and nail. And one of the big things is, for one guy who was beaten almost to death, they didn't want to spend the $10,000 a week to keep him in hospital, so they were going to ship him back home to his native country or give him back to his family in a coma with a catheter inserted into him, just so they didn't have to pay the money. The New York Press got a hold of emails and confidential communications and made an issue about this. What kind of country is America that they can do this to people and get away with it and nothing happens? Nothing. They killed people. People died of neglect in these prisons. It's unbelievable. There's something going on in Amish country. The American government has set up a hatchery for all kinds of eggs. Of course, that's where they put diseases in these eggs. They're making something in a top secret fold. The article is called "Shell Game Government Hatches Secret Program to Lay Eggs." Keep an eye on that. They may be incubating something really nasty. Then there's the report, government cover-up of food shortage feared. They've been fudging the facts. A lot of bad months for food crops. So that's something that's very, very important, because we all need to eat, and we may not be able to get enough gray goo. Then we see these scanners coming online, and if we can show the shot of the screen there, Blue, we have, you know, a reverse where you just see yourself totally naked. These scanners came in. They do have an ability to store data and send data. They're computers, for God's sake. And the images can be stored, retrieved, and sent all over, and they don't have to be shown in their reverse either. A simple photo program can turn it around. And we have to look at what they're doing. The next set is even like an X-ray machine to actually look into your body cavities. So one article, the TSA lies expose, full body scanner machines do save and transmit images, secret documents reveal. Well, what do you expect? An Israeli firm is responsible for letting the bomber get through. That's something that's pretty common knowledge. Incident here in Canada, 85-year-old woman has to unzip her pants to get a more invasive search than other people. The Slovaks plant a bomb on an air traveler and send him to Ireland. He gets busted unwittingly carrying an explosive, a real explosive that they're using for testing, 90 grams of the stuff. Military bloggers picked up Michael Jan. He's detained by the TSA. That's pretty disgusting. And of course, Ottawa just happened to know all this was going to happen and ordered these scanners in advance. Why? Because they probably are invested in the Chertoff Group. The Chertoff Group is doing a lot of recommendations for these things, and of course, he's going to make a lot of money. Key bono, who profits? And then Mr. Baird says, we always got to be raising our game because the terrorists are always going to be changing theirs. Or maybe it's because we're making a global police state, whether you like it or not. Conspiracy King is putting out a thing that Verint is going to be doing airport security for the Olympics. The same company that's involved in 7/7 and Madrid, and we can expect a terrorist attack near us. So that's something to be on top of, because we don't want to go pop for the Olympics. How are we doing for time, Blue? We still got some time? A minute? Okay, I like your fingers. You got more fingers than the other guy. That's good. Another quick story, aside from the smart meters that lie, is we have a man who's done some film documentaries, Mr. Arnett. He's exposed a lot of things about the police being involved in these criminal activities with the pig farm out in British Columbia. Former RCMP officer George Brown, a retired Aboriginal RCMP officer, says he knows the police were taking prostitutes to this infamous farm, that the police are involved in this at the highest levels. Very ominous charges, covered up by the politicians, the courts, and everything else. And then this Mr. Arnett was brutally beaten, had a broken rib in Vancouver just a couple of days ago, and I guess that's his reward for spilling the beans. He's done a lot of documentaries on the abuse in the residential school system. It's, you know, just absolutely great, the work he's doing, but absolutely terrible what happens to people who spill the beans. And if this is going on, his movies, one is Unrepentant, the other one is called The Diary. That's something to add to your diary. Whole lot better for you to see than Avatar, because if our politicians and our police are that low, that despicable, they need to be put in their place. And this is one of the places you're going to get them put in your place. Conspiracy Cafe, only on that channel. And we have the cleanup crew in the back there putting the silencers on their pistols, getting ready for the next round. And we're going to see Mrs. Steele and Lenny taking it to new heights. Love ya. And we're going to make a difference if we can. For us guys, don't forget, next week, same that time, same that channel. And if you get a chance, remember, Channel 15 in Toronto, UHF, free TV for the masses, online, or just with an aerial in your old TV set. They got a lot of stuff for you. Pirate radio was one thing. Pirate TV is here and for you in town. Tune in. Thanks for listening. See you later.